I have one note about the Olympics.
Okay, what is it?
It looks achievable.
Glitter cat litter.
Glitter cat litter.
I've been on a journey this weekend.
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yeah. And them. This notebook, first of all, I had a discussion today about notebooks with someone on Instagram, and I told her she was speaking to my soul because she was like, I have so many new notebooks and I never pass on buying a new notebook, but I feel like I don't have anything worth putting in the notebook. Therefore, I don't start using the notebook.
I get that.
Totally. But I was like, yes, 100%. But honestly, I bought this notebook in the back to school section. And it's so cute. And it's definitely for school. There's little games in the back. They say, shh, don't tell your teacher. And it's like little games. Anyway, it has been so inspiring to start a new notebook.
That's really awesome. Can you pause and close the door and turn off the fan?
Oh no.
You don't have to unplug anything. Your
Will these
existence
reach?
goes that far, yeah.
My existence goes that far.
Yeah, it sure does.
I don't know.
I'm positive it does.
I don't
If I
know.
can walk over to the camera, you can definitely walk over there. Okay.
I wasn't sure. Oh, you can't hear me.
I mean, very. You also got to talk into the microphone. I know that you've never podcasted before, clearly.
Never, ever.
So,
It's not
You know.
angled correctly.
I mean, it's angled fine. Why are you pointing it at your forehead?
This is not my forehead.
I mean, it seems like it's pointed really high.
How about there? I split the difference.
Sure, fine.
Anyway,
That's fine.
I've had a weekend and it felt so good because I just wrote. I didn't technically work on the weekend. Technically, I did teach lessons and I did a lot of stuff that was work related. But
So what she's saying is, I worked all weekend, but I'm telling myself I didn't work at all this weekend.
I did the you own your own business work, not work. Because
What
anybody,
are you talking about?
Anybody who owns their own business, I'm convinced, or runs their own stuff, they work all the time. They're always talking about work.
Sure.
Work is my life. Literally the way I live is just it's me
Sure.
and it's what I love to do. And so I do it all the time. And even the things I don't love to do, I'm thinking about them all the time,
Okay.
which is partly what I want to talk about today. But pause on that because this has been so inspiring. And I have forgotten how important it is to write stuff out and literally write it out on paper. Because I write on my iPad and it is not the same.
I mean, I agree slightly. I also think that to some degree, you're just using the excuse of it being in a folder of out of sight, out of mind with the iPad.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But that's more with me all the time anyway.
But if it's in a folder that you're not in your notes, you are not seeing it. You have no reminder, nothing to show it to you. So it is very far out of sight. So it's very far out of mind.
This notebook has been magical. And
What is it? It was like a $3 notebook.
$2.99. And we, of course, the Olympics is on currently. And
Right this second?
yeah, right.
Wow.
No, right now it's in Paris.
Wow. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, it's really in the middle of the night. But the Olympics has been on and I have been so inspired. And I hope other people have been inspired too by this. But there's so much that I want to talk about. Number one, I have this awesome jacket on. If you're watching the video, if you're listening, I have an awesome jacket on. And it's a USA jacket from the Olympic Training Center that my parents got in 1992, the year I was born. And they kept it. And I have it now. And I'm stoked about
That is
it.
pretty cool.
Yeah, right? But writing things out, following through on ideas.
Wait, where's the Olympic Training Center? Is it like a,
Salt Lake City.
and it's just permanently there?
Yeah.
Or it was there in 92?
I think it's still there. Cannot confirm.
Okay.
I can confirm when I look at my phone.
We should ask our Utah friends.
I thought you were going to say to ask Siri.
No, I was just going to ask our Utah friends and see if they have any clue.
Those would be people to ask. You mean ask them before we ask the internet?
Uh-huh.
I think we'll get an answer on the internet faster.
Nah, it's more fun to ask them.
That's true. But writing things out, it's like brought me way back to my childhood, and then watching the Olympics. Like I think about my own training, and it's been the topic of discussion a lot recently with my students, with people I know. And I used to write out so many things, but like when I decided that I was going to win the world championships, because it was a decision, when I decided that, I wrote it out, and I have the papers somewhere, but I wrote out that I was going to train harder than anyone else. I was going to work harder, work smarter. I like had a whole plan out to become the champion, to become a world champion. And as crazy as that was, because I was like 13 at the time and didn't know anyone who had become a world champion, I was just like, I know I can do this, even if I didn't actually know I could do it. I remember being so afraid to like tell people that I wanted to do that, my own parents included, who were coaches. I remember being so scared because I thought that that was so like beyond and just way too big of an ask or a dream or a goal. But I was determined, and I was like, even if I keep this to myself for right now, like I'm going to stick to this plan. And obviously I had to tell my coaches like, hey, I want to skate this event. I want to do this in order to get that far. But it was like such a scary thing. And I still feel that way about so many things, especially recently, because we've been like really trying to focus in on expanding our business and doing better things with our business, that I almost get scared, the same sort of feeling, to like even tell you, my business partner, to be like, hey, I want to do this thing, or I want this to be our goal. And it's such a funny thing to think about and talk about, because it's like, you should have big goals and go for them. But it's such a weird mental space to be in for me. I feel like I'm 8 years old and like, oh my gosh, I want to do this thing.
I mean, I get it, or at least I can relate to it. I don't have any real useful input to it.
Did you ever have that? Like anything that you were like, I want to do this. This would be crazy if I could do this.
Sure, the difference is I didn't do it. No, because I would say like I wanted to go like tour with my bands, and like that was a thing that like I definitely wanted to do. Granted, the touring could have most definitely happened. Like there were opportunities that, or at least we were going in the right direction that like it would have happened, but it requires more people.
Yeah.
So like
that's another thing to talk about, is like sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's okay too.
Yeah. To finish my thought, it's the more people were the problem, not me. Like if I had been in a similar position as you.
If it was a solo thing.
If I had been in a similar position as you and I had done it myself, I would have done that. But because it was directly tied to like 5 other people, it then became too convoluted by everybody else's opinions and all the other stuff. So like, yeah, I guess. But then like, I don't know. I haven't thought beyond, or I haven't thought back to some of that, because I guess I haven't really. Maybe I've felt that with stuff recently, but I've been so kind of all over the place with most of the stuff anyway that I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like I was reading something or watching something about the Olympics, and it was about how, yes, you're seeing these top athletes perform at their very best. Like they are peaking right now. at the Olympics, and not necessarily in like the lifespan of their sport. Like they may be better in 2 years from now, or they may have been better 2 years ago, but they're peaking like for their year right now at the Olympics. That's at least the goal. But it's not like you, in the time span of 4 years for the next Olympics, it's not like you train so hard every day. It's like a very well thought out plan that takes a lot of different moving parts, like nutrition and resting and how you're going to recover from your workouts and like building an entire plan. And it's that same way in a business. If you think about it that way, it's the same thing in like a general like workout plan, a nutrition plan. Like in life, if you follow that model of like, obviously it works. Like business plans are set up for a reason. Like Olympic plans or training programs are set up for a reason. And just flying through life with like, I hope this works out. I've done that for a while, and it's not as beneficial as having a plan and sticking to the plan.
Yeah. Was I talking to you about, maybe I was talking to myself or thinking about it to myself about like, no, I was talking to you this morning about like the ignorance of we were talking about running.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I will never do a marathon, and I will stand on a hill and say it on the internet that's going to live for ideally forever. I have zero intention to ever run a marathon for a few reasons, one of which being I straight up am not competitive enough and I don't care. And people be like, oh, but you're competitive with yourself. Yeah, sure. But I also am not interested in anything for that many hours at one go at all. Maybe World of Warcraft. Or like the game Portal, but that is from the comfort of my house with air conditioning. If we want the other reasons why I won't, is because every single person I know that has trained or done any thought towards one has injured themselves in some way, and I'd rather just be functional my whole life and not create a lifelong injury off of competing to run something. I know that that's not
I was
everyone.
going to say, there's plenty of people who do not.
I know, but I'm saying every single person I know that has ever been like marathon has been a thought in their head or a word out of their mouth, they have an injury or 3 that go along with it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm super uninterested in that. But anyway, to go back to the ignorance is bliss part that all devil's advocate for, when I started running a couple months ago, and I don't know, I guess I've kind of explained it. I literally just like one day I was like, I'm really over like indoor cardio as a thing as a whole. I just kind of, I'm like, what happens if I run? Like, do I like this? Do I hate this? I'm like, historically, I absolutely hate this. But like, what if I try it and like I just give it a shot and see if I enjoy it or if it's fine, you know? Mm-hmm. And so like I ran and I was like, I'm just going to go at whatever pace my body goes, and I'm going to go until I'm like real tired, and I'm just going to stop and I'll walk. And then maybe I'll go a little more. Or I'll just walk until 20 minutes. I don't care. And I ran like 2/3 of a mile. I was like, I actually could get behind this, but like not for very long. So, I guess all of this to say is like, I went into it ignorant. I understand what running is. Like it's kind of it's a pretty straightforward concept, like running. Our bodies are like super like built for it, you know? But like not knowing all of the science and all of the special ways to make yourself go faster or slower or have the endurance to go whatever a marathon length is or blah, 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 you know, and like having these crazy goals. It's like, I don't really have any of that. Like my whole entire goal is like get enough cardio in to like meet the quota of like scientific cardio health. Mm-hmm. Like that's the entire point of this for me. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, it'd be pretty cool if I could run like 3 miles in around 21 plus minutes. Because I was like, 20 minutes, 3 miles is like, that's under 7 minutes a mile. Yeah. I'm like, I don't need to be sprinting. That sounds not dangerous, but that sounds aggressive.
After watching the sprinters, I don't know if that's sprinting.
Well, for a normal human, I think that's sprinting. but so I was like, oh, okay, and that's kind of my goal that's just like tossed out there. Like eventually at some point in my life, I think that would be really dope to get there. And like very slowly my mile time keeps getting shorter, but like I'm not training
I
and I'm
love
not
that
like,
your goal is to shorten your workout. Like you want to be so efficient that your workout is so short.
that is my literal goal. And my
That is
goal
the
is,
entire goal.
the goal is less time out there.
I get that. Yeah, I support that.
Dear, man, it's 100 and something or
Not quite.
my watch says that it's 96. Hold on,
Yeah.
it's refreshing. 96, but feels like 101. So,
Yeah.
and I ran this morning and it was fine, kind of. But like, what's interesting because I run the same route in our community like every day. I've just figured out what I can know without actually like timing it, how far I've gone.
Right.
Like at least what 0.2 miles is, and I can just be like, okay, I'm done, basically. But now, depending on the time of morning I go, you can actually feel the different climates of where like wind goes in our neighborhood, and the down by the back gate is so hot.
I
It's
was going to
like
say that's probably the worst.
it's easily like 5+ degrees hotter
Yeah.
than
And there's no shade.
no. But well, kind of. The parking is very strange. But if you run
You
by
go under the trees.
no, but if you run by the cars, because the way the sun is,
Okay.
if you run by the cars, which is kind of more dangerous, but like I'm
Yeah.
pretty aware of when people are around. If I was to run at like 7 in the morning, I have to run on the sidewalk. But if I'm running
Yeah.
at like 9, everybody's already gone to work, so I'm just doing whatever.
Whenever I drive by you, I want to like catcall you.
I hate you.
It's so good.
Today I was pretty pooped, and I was only on like
You had just
a quarter of
started.
a mile.
Yeah.
My body was like, we're not doing this today. I did it. But
You waved at me though.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. That's all of my energy. That was all the excess I had today.
Well, like you've created running as a discipline. Like it's a habit. You are disciplined to keep doing it. If you were stuck with motivation to do it, you would have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
and I think that's a big thing, like in anything that you want to do to better you, like eating better, sleeping more, sleeping better, like working out. I think people start because they have the motivation, and that's great. You should start when you have the motivation, but you have to keep doing it to create a discipline of it, because that motivation will not last. Like people ask me all the time about skating, because a lot of people skate, they start out by skating every day. And I have never been someone who's like, yeah, do that, or yeah, I do that. Never, ever. And I think that's just because of the way I was brought up. Like I was raised by skating instructors. So they kind of understood the like, you don't have to do this every day. You shouldn't do this every day because you need to recover. You need to like create a plan. But I understand why it works for people, because it creates the habit. It creates a discipline of skating every day. So the days that you don't want to, you go, I have to. Like, I need to. And it creates that discipline. A lot of people do it for a year and then stop doing it because they don't want to continue. And I do understand it now, though, because you're creating that.
I think that's still kind of... I think that doing anything every single day is a very bad idea.
I agree.
Because on paper or in thought for the first, I don't know, however long before you burn out, probably like, well, for you with like original journaling, 2 weeks. For me with like writing a song a day was like, I think it lasted like 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I made it that far.
I think you did.
But then I made it like 9 months on a few songs a month.
Yeah.
But you end up, like, I felt this mostly with working out, is where it's like I was so obsessed with getting to a goal that I still technically have not achieved. But like I was so obsessed with getting to the goal and so obsessed with eating a specific amount of food and like or calories or whatever. And like I have to work out this hard and I have to do this much and I have to go do all those things. And it like at some point, basically I'm just like, I'm just literally too tired to care.
Yeah.
You know, and I would hit that like every, I don't know, probably like every 14, well, it was probably like 17 days.
Yeah.
Like every 17 days, I would give myself like a rest day or two, or well, not, I would never give myself consecutively two, but like I could give myself like a rest day, right? But then because I'd created such a bad habit of every day has to be something,
Yeah.
that I created such a bad habit of never letting myself recover. And I think that skating is kind of a creative thing, even if it's like a skill that people are trying to learn and they're trying to get better. It's kind of like, I guess along the lines of like riding a bike or a skateboard or something. Like you have to like put in the time and the like reps to be like proficient at it.
Yeah.
But
10,000 hour rule.
Yeah, but it's well, also that's for professional stuff. So like,
yeah,
come on, not everybody's trying to be a professional skater. I mean, even if that is
True.
the thought in whoever's head that's doing it for every year, like every day for a year. But it's just like if you are looking at it too much like art or hobby, and you're forgetting how much exercise it is.
Yeah.
That's where it gets really messed up, which is really great for your health, you know, generally speaking. Like that means that you're exercising more, but that does not allow you to eat more, which is a big misconception, at least generally. But I think like, because I think about like creative stuff, like, oh, go film a video every day, or oh, go take pictures every day, or whatever every day that's like creative and like kind of a lower barrier to entry. Like it's not as heavy of a lift.
I don't know. To me, that sounds heavier.
Well, depending on what it is for what person, right? For me, those sound very easy. But then at some point you start cutting corners, right? Or if you don't and you're that awesome, like hell yeah. But like usually, like I mean, I've done it. Like you start cutting corners, or like Duolingo is a great example too. It's like they have the streaks and everything's meant to be like gamified, and it's like I think literally as of today I'm on a 668 day streak on Duolingo. And when you do the math, or when you like, when I say it out loud, I'm like, that's a lot of days. And then it's really, I'm almost at 2 years.
Yeah.
Or yeah, we're not quite there. I'm almost at 2 years, but I'm not as proficient in Italian as I would assume that I should be with that many days. Because if I had done it in school, that's 4 semesters of Italian, or 3. I'm on my 3rd semester, like, you know, of Italian, which you'd be like, you're pretty proficient, right? You'd be able to like carry a pretty solid conversation. I feel like at if you're like going for it.
I think
you know?
I took 2 years of Italian, and I think I'm about where I'm at. Like I think it's
2 years. But 2 years, did you take it
in college?
But that's 2 semesters. You took 4 semesters of it, or you took 2 semesters of it?
I think I took 4 semesters. I could
Usually
be wrong.
it's
It could be
semester-based,
2.
So you might have taken a year of it.
But I actually like, yeah, I agree with you, because I do think I would be not as afraid to talk because they make you talk.
The 2 years that I'm in, or the 1 2/3 years that I'm in, I phoned in. I just absolute bare minimum.
Yeah.
Easily, without exaggerating, 280 of the days.
Right.
Because the streak is what's important now. It's not learning the language, it's the streak, which is the problem with the skating every day, or the doing anything every day for a month, a year, whatever. You have to give yourself time to rest.
Yeah.
So that you actually get better.
At the same time, I almost like, I am at 500 something days, and I almost want to break my streak. Like it almost feels like a badass move to be like, no, I'm not doing it.
It's
like I want to go against it. I know that I shouldn't, but I want to. I want to break the rules.
I mean, there's nothing that says you can't. It is literally here. Actually, the only way that I can tie this to anything for me is the Apple Fitness streaks. Once I realized, because for the first while, like Apple Fitness, like your activity rings.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, your
streaks?
activity rings on your Apple Watch. So if you don't know, which I feel like pretty much everybody that would be on this would have some understanding of Apple's activity rings. If you don't,
Probably.
it's okay. Apple has activity rings. There's 3 of them. One is the amount of exercise calories burned in a day, which you can set all
Yeah,
these
you
goals
can
to be whatever you
customize
want.
it.
The amount of exercise minutes is the other one, and then a stand goal, which is a minute inside every hour, and you can choose how many hours you can customize it all. I don't know why I'm stuck on that, but
I'm nowhere
regardless,
close.
yeah, okay. So, but regardless, so when we first started working out, or even when I first got the Apple Watch, it was like I am trying to meet this goal, but then I could never reach the activity one because I was in the active calorie one because I was never active enough to reach it, and it wasn't very high, but clearly I wasn't very active, or at least not in a way that those original Apple Watches could read.
Yeah.
And then once we started working out a lot more, I was like, I actually don't care what my Apple Watch says. Like, it doesn't matter because I know what I'm doing. So like,
Yeah.
while I do appreciate having the like general basis of like, this is how much you did today, this is how much you stood, this is how much whatever, like, and I'm pretty on top of like making sure that I like did like started a workout when I am working out or something so that I have an idea. But like when I got a watch, like an actual watch, not I guess an Apple Watch is an actual watch. When I got a
Non-Apple Watch.
non-smartwatch, like a dumb watch, I like one of the hardest things for me to break was like, if I don't wear my Apple Watch, I literally can't have a streak.
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like, I care enough to be like, I don't think I'm going to wear the watch, but like not enough that like if I was wearing the watch and I didn't make it, I wouldn't care if I didn't get the streak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was like a weird, but then all of a sudden, once I realized working out and like having come back from our trip and it being like I needed to take a break.
Yeah.
I was like, I actually don't care. I don't care if my activity ring doesn't get finished. I mean, like, I'm not going to wear a regular watch to the gym or to work out or run or something like that. Is dumb. I bought this watch so that it can help me track and understand and see where I went faster, what my heart rate was, and all the things, like, use the tools you have, right?
I mean, the crazy thing with the watch is like they don't have, we've talked about this before, but they don't have roller skating on it. And so I used to just not track, and I still don't really track when I'm skating because yes, that is a workout, but I just don't count it as a workout on my watch.
Yeah, but like I don't count everything I do as a workout. Like if I'm running, I do for sure because I want to know like my pace and stuff, which is really great to show that. Or like if I'm at the gym or something, I need to know because I need to see some way to time how long my like breaks are in between each set of whatever I'm doing, so that way I have it.
Smart.
Like that's the only reason. I don't really care if it doesn't count the calories or whatever. It's mostly out of like me timing it, and people are like, use a stopwatch. I'm like, I own a smartwatch. Like, I'm just gonna do the easier part and like let it do all the work.
Also,
for
it
me.
has a stopwatch on it if you want that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like,
it's
like at
right
that
there.
point, just use it.
I did use the stopwatch for the first time, possibly ever, on my watch the other day.
For what?
To time how long it took me to write an email.
You were like timing yourself, like,
yeah,
go.
I was like, go, and I wrote the email and then I hit stop. I don't remember how long it took me, but it was longer than I had hoped.
On one of the, I have one of the watches I have. I don't know enough about watches. I honestly, I also don't care. It's a cool watch. I like the watch. Great. The second hand, that's a traditional second hand, is a timer.
Right.
And then there's 2 other, so it's like, I don't know. It's got like the main face, and then it's got 2 guys that do something, and then it's got one at the bottom that's the actual seconds. But the second hand that like a traditional clock or whatever clock
would be the
is,
seconds.
is your second timer. And so when you hit the timer, that starts going and
Yeah.
it'll stop, like when you hit stop or whatever. But it bugs the crap out of me that it's always stuck at 12. Like, why
Oh,
can't you, like, you should be able to push a setting so that that's the second hand
yeah.
and that the little baby guy is the other one. I get it, but it's annoying. And I'm like, this is why smartwatches
Yeah.
are better than regular watches, because the constraints are not as stupid
Yeah.
as this. This sucks.
Yeah, I get that. I had a student ask me today if I ever had fun while I was training. And I thought that that was such a funny question, because I was like, yeah, like I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't fun. And then I was like, well, not obviously, not every practice was fun or every training session was fun. Like there were a lot of hard days and bad days, but it is really interesting because you can tell when someone is performing or competing or doing anything. People can read through it and you can tell if someone is miserable or if they're too in their head or if they are just not happy to be there or if they're having fun or if they're happy about it. And there's also a lot of in between. Obviously, it's not so black and white, but I thought that was a really interesting question. And it made me think of like, okay, when I was training really hard, again, with like a set schedule, I told her, I was like, I used to go from school to the gym and then to practice. Some days it was practice, then the gym. And practice and skating was like way more fun than the gym. So I think that made it extra fun. And I was like, yes, I can't wait to get to the rink. And I didn't want to go to the gym. So I think that kind of helped me too, of like have something to look forward to, have something to not look forward to.
I just feel like your whole life that you explained to me while you were training and stuff is such BS.
What do you mean?
I just feel like you're lying. I don't know why. I just feel
About
like
what?
yeah.
Everything.
Uh-huh. I don't know why. There's no rational, I just feel like
let me sum up my life.
No, you have. I don't need you to sum it up again. I'm just telling you that
No, I
like
haven't. Not to them.
I'm nearly positive you have talked about having gone to school and then immediately go to train and go to the gym
That
and
was
then sleep
only
a little bit and whatever.
End of high school.
Okay, that's
and
great.
College.
That's what I'm talking about. We don't need to go further. I just feel like it's all BS. I don't know why, but just the thought of you at the gym and getting very little sleep and just constantly training and doing stuff seems like such BS to me for whatever reason.
I was a completely different being. Like I was a machine. And you can ask my friends from high school because they never saw me because I was asleep. Like whenever we would have plans, I would wake up to like 18 texts, 14 calls because they were like, we know you're asleep. Wake up. You're supposed to meet us at the movies. Like we know you want to come see this movie. Wake up. And I was like either gone training or asleep.
Which is wild.
There was nothing else. This is why we had to break up because I did not have time for you.
Yeah, whatever. Well, to bring it all tied back in, you still are absolute garbage at responding to a text message if you're at a skating rink.
Yes, this is true.
It's specifically doing something with skating. You refuse to look at your watch or your phone, even though I have been there, texted you, you look at your watch, ignore whatever's said, get your phone out, do something on your phone, not taking a video, and then you still ignore me. And I go, "Did you see my text?" And you go, "Oh, what text?" And I go, "Are you kidding me? I watched you use your watch and stuff."
This is true. Did I miss a text today?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm saying in general, you're so zoned into whatever's going on.
I am.
But it's specifically skating, because if you're doing anything else.
Yes, you're right.
You'll see the text message and be like, "Oh, okay." Or you'll be like, you'll read it and then respond later or something. It's like delayed, but like only reason you put 8 wheels on your feet and technology goes out the window.
Well, absolutely. Part of it is when I'm teaching, I am not thinking about anything else. I'm teaching the student.
Well, sure. I mean, that makes sense. But like, if someone was dying, you would be the worst person to
Yeah, I
contact.
would.
You're literally the worst. Like if
I would.
if I was in an emergency, you would be completely useless to get a hold of.
I want to think that I would see that and get to it.
No, because I've called you like 4 times in a row and you still do not answer your phone.
This is not an excuse. I'm just curious. You can change the vibration on your wrist, like to be stronger, right? On your watch?
Yeah, don't you have it set to that? Mine's always set to that.
I don't know because I swear when I'm skating, I don't feel it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of times I do stuff and I don't feel it. And I'm like, what? I swear I got the notification. Also,
Yeah.
there's times where I wear not an Apple Watch and I swear I felt it vibrate. And I'm like, what? But like, I'll look at it and I'll feel it vibrate. And I go, I am 100% certain it did not vibrate. So I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
It's a, ghost vibrations, man. That's a weird one.
When you said that, I was like, shoot, did I miss something? But I texted you.
No, it's
before I
not. It's
started
not
my
today.
lesson.
There's no passive aggressive. There's no specific
Okay.
thing. It's truly just I know that when you go. I mean, we've had larger problems with this where like I have to get answers to something or like whatever. I don't even remember any of the situations, so clearly not that important. But like important enough to be like, hey, I need you to look at your phone. And 3 hours later, you look at your phone and I'm like, dude. Or I'll call you. I think there was one time I had to call your mom.
I do remember that. I don't remember why.
I don't remember
what I was doing.
I don't remember you were at the rink. I don't remember what it was, but you would not answer your phone or your watch and you would not look at it and you were training I don't know who or whatever you guys were doing. But I was like, I know Carol's there.
Yeah.
And I know Carol will answer because she'll be like, why is he calling me? Like, it'd be weird.
She'll be like, something's wrong.
Yeah, which I think she was like, you okay? And I'm like, no, it's fine. Your daughter's just not answering her phone. And she's like, oh, okay, and skates over to you. And then you're like, oh, yeah, what? Like, like, I'm bothering you. And like, I get it. But I'm also like, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm zoned in, man.
Yeah.
I'm in the zone.
Yeah. I guess for the tiny bit of context that isn't that necessary is like we were definitely married at this point. So it's not like a needy boyfriend you're trying to avoid. It's like
it's a needy husband.
It wasn't that either. I swear it was like a business thing or something that you said.
It was something that I needed to get you an answer or a code or something.
Yeah, it was probably something
like
hindering me from work that day.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, dude, I'm not going to just burn 4 hours waiting for you to get home. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. That's my gripe with you at a skating rink. It's the worst. I have not had to contact you recreationally while you're at a skating rink, so I don't know.
I'm sure it's the same. It's just wheels on my feet. The rest of the world does not exist.
Yeah, maybe.
It is my world that I have created.
Oh my God. No. For the love of all things.
Kind of.
So you're saying you put the 4 wheels, the 8 wheels on your feet into a skating rink, and now it's your world. And the skating rink that was built by someone else is yours now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I can't say it's just a skating rink. I think like anywhere I am, if I'm at the park, if I'm anywhere. Like
there's a little more leeway when you're not in a skating rink, mostly because I know for a fact in a skating rink, your phone is not going to be so far away from you that it might disconnect from your watch because you don't pay for cellular on that baby.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
So
I don't think my phone is ever that far away from me.
There was a time where it would be in a backpack or something and you would go.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
No.
Also, that's just kind of a dangerous thing to do. Just put
Yeah,
your phone
just
in a
leave
backpack and hope for the best.
I'm not into that.
Neither am I.
Another thing that I do that people are not into is put my phone in my back pocket because that's a real bad idea.
Why?
Because you're going to fall on it if you're going to fall.
They clearly have not met you.
Yeah, but I mean, accidents happen.
Okay, Miss Confidence on roller skates, and now all of a sudden you have no confidence on roller skates? What are you talking about?
I put my phone in my back pocket. It's not recommended if you're going to fall, and people freak out on the internet all the time.
Why are you going to fall?
I am not. People will.
I don't
knock on wood. I don't want anyone to fall.
The logic is not logicking here. We're not connecting the dots.
It's an internet thing that people who don't know me
that
are
people don't like
of
that
my
your phone.
getting cracked.
Okay, here, let me drop something here for you. Apple Care Plus is a must-have for any Apple product. Let me just clarify that, please, for
It's
the
a
love of all
savior.
things. For the love of all things, if you own an Apple product, buy the Apple Care Plus. I am not sponsored or endorsed by Apple, but I swear it's better than buying a phone case. It's also cheaper than buying a phone case.
But I also buy a phone case. Like I do both.
You're doing it for fashion, not really for function.
No.
You're not buying it to protect your phone. You're not buying one that's like a protective phone
No,
case.
I'm doing it so it
Yes.
doesn't slide out of my hand.
Sure.
Because I got
Yeah,
sweaty hands.
That's function, I guess. But like you get one that looks cool
but
too.
I like
You're
the
not
color.
you're not buying like the safest one to not break your screen.
No, I'm
no,
not
you
doing
don't
that.
care.
No.
No. And I do no phone case because I buy the Apple Care. So there's no case on this baby. I just don't. I have a
I
case.
wish I could do that.
Have a case. I don't use it, but it's the Apple Care. I don't know. The prices don't change often, but they're different on all the products. But look,
Everything's expensive, but replacing things on your phone is more expensive.
let's put it this way: the back of the iPhone, $29 to fix. This current 15 Pro, the front of the iPhone, $29 to fix if you drop it. That's cheaper than the cases. The whole
is
thing, if I
crazy.
threw it at the wall right now, the whole thing to fix, $60. That's as much as the phone case.
It is. Yeah.
So who cares? Just use your phone. Enjoy your phone.
You should
That's the whole
be
point.
should be a sponsor.
No, because I'd be angry. Like that.
You're allowed to be angry.
No, I can't. I can't be a sales guy for Apple if I'm angry.
Well,
as
not a
stuff.
sales guy for Apple, but like you should do this.
Oh
An
no,
influencer.
sure. Well, I mean, I guess I just did. No, but
I don't know.
And-
Let us know if Taylor influenced you so that he can become an influencer.
in all seriousness, the Apple Care is worth it.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't know how we got on that.
What were we talking? Oh no, your phone in your back pocket. That's why we got on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying
Okay.
just get because the whole reason I brought the Apple Care up is because even if you have a great phone case and you fall on skates, I promise you the weight of you and your butt pushing against something like the cement, concrete.
Oh, we're falling on your wheel. That's one that's
Yep. It's going to bend your phone, which means it's going to stress it, which means your glass is going to break, which a phone case, I promise, is not going to solve. A phone case is meant for dropping, not for bending.
yeah.
And that process is going to add the force of a drop mixed with the force of a bend, which means you should have bought the Apple Care anyway. That's why I brought it up.
Also, second thing of advice with a phone or some electronic thing, don't try to save it when you're falling. Save yourself.
Oh, dude, we have firsthand experience with this. 100% we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Do not save the product.
I saved my iPad and sprained my wrist.
Which was it $1,200?
Yeah, it was way more
$1,400?
expensive than fixing the iPad.
It was a $1,400 emergency room visit versus a $400 iPad.
Yeah, so don't save the product.
Because that was when we had the mini, right?
Mhm.
Or something. And the mini was pristine, which is crazy that you did such a good job at saving it. But
Well, I didn't even understand what happened because it hurt so bad. I thought I had dropped it or like slammed my hand down, but I didn't. It was the weight of it.
well, no, your arm had to have hit and the iPad pulled your
Yeah,
wrist out or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, save yourself.
Yeah, don't worry about the electronics. You can definitely get a new electronic. You'll be fine.
We watched King Richard yesterday,
See.
and so now I'm determined to create a plan for myself.
Oh, I thought you were going to say play tennis.
No. I know it's not me.
So we found out a fun fact yesterday, slightly related to watching King Richard, but Brad Pitt played 3 sports in high school. I love the movie Moneyball. We love the movie Moneyball.
We love the movie Moneyball. I love Brad Pitt.
I also love Brad Pitt. But I've always been like, how on earth or why on earth does this guy have such giant forearms like a baseball player would? And I'm like, did he play baseball or something? And she looked it up. Nicole looked it up. And the dude played, what was it? Tennis,
Swimming,
and golf in high
that's
school?
exactly it. Yeah.
Dude, I
Which
can.
makes complete sense. Also,
Yeah.
that's insane.
That's a lot. But then right when I thought about that, I thought about our friend Jonathan, and I was like, no wonder why his physique is that way, because he did like soccer and tennis, and I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe there's something to play in tennis. If you want to have like
100%.
jacked forearms,
Yeah.
just go play tennis. I guess it is all on your wrist, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
That's why baseball players have such huge forearms. Look at that. Baseball won't be it. You just drop the ball.
my hand-eye coordination is pretty good.
Your hand-eye coordination is good. Mine is not. So you go ahead and play tennis. I won't be joining you.
I
I
don't.
can skate along the
I
side.
don't like being outdoors enough. in
What if you
that
went
temperature.
indoors? What if you found like a
I don't wanna
gym?
Pay for it.
But what if it was really fun?
Who am I playing tennis with? Is really fun. I guess,
Jonathan,
but
Dylan.
he's good. They're good though.
I'm not. You
I'm-
could be good.
Yeah,
Don't doubt yourself.
No. I'm not doubting myself. But it
You're
means,
doubting yourself.
No, it means
Don't.
no.
You write down your plan on how to become the best tennis player you can be.
It means I gotta practice. and
Yes, you do need to practice.
I don't have enough time.
You're such a liar. You are coming up with so many excuses. I'm gonna do what you do to me about everything.
Honestly, if I was to do anything, I just want to play catch. I would play
Okay.
catch and hit baseballs all day long.
Maybe someday I will have a child for you to do that with, but not right now.
No, because the only times that it would be good, the child would probably hate me.
What do you mean?
Like the child would not want to play. I remember being a young child and like there was moments. There's like that little tiny great time when it's like you're too little, so I can't throw hard. It's
You
great.
can, but it won't be good.
And then there's like the little era of like I hate you, but I can throw hard.
Yeah.
And then it's they'd rather be with friends than play with like dad.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm like,
what if?
I know I'm projecting, so like
You are.
obviously that's not how that works. But
Because I skated
also let's be very
with
clear.
my dad all the time.
No, let's be very clear. That is so many years away if it was to happen now. I want it now. Anyway.
You gotta find some friends to throw catch.
I have to throw catch, huh?
To play catch.
I
Who-
have friends that would probably play catch, but I don't want to go outside in this.
There's a not a neighbor, but like
And there's
down the-
mosquitoes too. I don't.
not at dusk. Don't go out at like 5 p.m.
When we have friends that have normal jobs that do
No, you
these
gotta find a
things,
kid. You gotta find like a teenager. That sounded creepy, but like
that's really creepy.
No, it's not.
What
If
are you
they're-
talking about?
no, think about it. If they're like playing baseball and need to practice,
There's no. I'm in my 30s. You don't just like go to a random teenager. Hey, you want to play catch? No.
I'm trying-
What are you talking about, Nicole? That is
I'm
so
trying-
creepy.
no, I'm trying to think of our friends that have kids that would need to practice baseball.
That's what their dad's for, or
What
their
if their
coach.
Dads don't want to do that.
But I'm not like good. I'm just like, hey,
no, you are good. You're just scary at pitching. You're scary good.
I'm not that good. It also hurts my shoulder a lot.
Yeah, because
Oh,
you
that's
don't warm up. You just go throw. That's a bad idea.
I mean, why not? Right? You know what? If Scarlett would just get a baseball glove and we would just throw it, she'd
She'll
be
throw
pretty
a
good at it.
volleyball at you.
I don't want to play
Catch it.
volleyball. I could catch it. My hands are small though. I can't catch it with one hand, and that's the baller move. Just like,
That is a baller move.
but if I was to go like that, I'd jam all my fingers because the ball's like
Well, 100%.
5 times the size of my hand.
There's a commercial that's like a female basketball player and she moves the ball like in front of the camera and it's so dope. And
Because she's just grabbing it.
yeah, she just goes like, it's a camera like transition. It's so smart. But she moves it across and every time that's how they open the commercial. I'm like, oh, that was good. 100%. And that would not, it's not possible.
You could do like a little kid ball. You could do like
yeah,
a little
like
one.
toy one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like the size of a softball instead of a.
I could maybe do that. I have tiny little
I believe.
hands.
I believe in that. We could probably end it on this. I have one note about the Olympics.
Okay, what is it?
It looks achievable. Now let me
Which part? Which sport?
kind of all of it. And now let me clarify that it looks achievable because they're so good that it makes it look really easy. But also like there's I mean I saw somebody posted this on the internet, but like I don't think this would be entertaining, and I understand why no one would do
I
this.
feel like I
but
know where you're going with
like
this.
saying have a normal person
Yeah.
go do the thing. Yeah, no. So like swim, like I understand the times are fast. I don't
Yeah.
comprehend how big the pool is. I get that 50 meters is a lot. I have zero understanding of how far 50 meters is. I know it's
Yeah.
150 feet roughly.
Yeah.
But like that,
I just mathed
like
so
I don't
quick in my
know,
head.
I don't know what 150 feet is. Like if you were to say like how far is it from here to the wall, I'd be like 40 feet, and then I go measure it, and it's like 9 or something. Like I don't know. Okay, maybe not 9, like 18.
How
but
big is like a football field?
300 feet. So it's half of a football field. But
Okay.
but still, I'm not so familiar with a football field
Yeah.
that I would understand. And like even if we were to go to something that we are familiar with, like a
skating
baseball
rink.
diamond, or okay, I'm not very familiar with that. I have no idea what the size of that
I
is.
should know that.
But like, or like a hockey arena. Like I don't actually know the feet. Is it 150 feet for a hockey arena? So maybe
Let's
it's
see.
the same size as a hockey arena, and that's how far they're swimming each way. Regardless, okay, that's off the deep end. I think
Pun intended. 200 feet is a regulation ice hockey rink in North
for
America.
NHL is 200 feet.
200
so
feet.
it's
Almost a full rink. You said it's
so
150
it's not
feet.
quite. Well, I mean, it's 50 meters, so I don't know what exact math that is in feet, but. Okay, so it's almost a hockey. Okay, anyway, the detail doesn't matter here. It's more that like when all these people are running this thing, it's because they're all so close, and they're all like you're watching the fastest, the best in the world. So
Yeah.
it's like it all looks easy.
Yeah.
If I was to go try to do any of it, I can't do a single one of those things even remotely close to anything. Like I know I'm not capable.
We were watching gymnastics and you go, it was a floor routine in the women's floor, and you go, I think I could do that.
No, I was watching it and I was like, I feel like that is achievable. And it's because of how easy they make it look.
But the best way for me to say, like, for me, that I know I cannot do that is I spent over 2 years trying to get an axle on roller skates. And if you know what an axle is, it's 1.5 times around. It is absolutely doable for a lot of people. I could never get it backward.
I'm
I cannot.
positive that if you had done the actual physical training
At that age, probably, yes.
If you had gone to the weightlifting training that you would have needed to do to get there, you could have. But you didn't do any of the muscle
Possibly,
training to do the...
Yes.
That's, I think, the only thing stopping you.
But
I think,
awareness in the air, like some people have it, some people don't. I do not.
but I also feel like it is directly tied to the amount of muscle you have in correlation to it, because I have seen from myself an a weird, like, subconscious understanding of a lot more of what my body is doing when I do weightlifting stuff and other things and balance and stuff. It's completely different than a year ago, let alone 4 years ago. Yeah. So I do think that you absolutely could achieve any of the jumping stuff if you spent the time to train in the traditional sense of muscular, like strength training, to work the muscles to get you there. And then let's end on this, outside of me saying that I think that the Olympics looks achievable, because I know it's not. The bodies, I feel like this Olympics specifically, the muscles are all so jarringly weird and specific for the sports. Like swimmers are like all back, all shoulders.
I think you're just noticing it.
Maybe.
Also, I don't think you've watched the Olympics as much as you have ever.
Yeah, I have. Every year with you, we always watch this much of them. But I just feel
into
like
it this year, and I love it.
Sure. But I just feel like I love it. I'm fascinated with where muscle is on people for the specific things that they do.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think it's wild to be like, what? I mean, I know that this is like the epitome of it, like normal life and normal years, they're not this muscular probably, or not all the way, and like maybe
not
it's a little
as
more
defined
even.
And, lean.
Yeah, but it's just funny seeing like the different people with like giant legs, no arms, or giant arms, no legs. I mean, or
it's like, you remember we were at something like a VidCon thing, and there was a guy working, and he was like pretending to be like a car hop or something, and he had huge calves, like huge calves. And I was like, I bet that guy's a skater. I bet he's a skater. He's either a speed skater or something, like something with that motion. And I wanted to go ask him, and like I didn't end up asking him, but you can tell like what sports people have done, or like Brad Pitt with the forearms. Like you can tell, you can guess what sport
Yeah.
people have done.
It's also crazy to think that like there is a memory to it, like outside of muscle memory of like actually you remembering how to do like riding or I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever. For me, like guitar or like riding a
Yeah.
bike or something. Like
Yeah.
the muscle memory is there when you've done it your whole life, and then you do it later. It's like it sticks. But I'm like, it's crazy to think that like literal muscles
They remember.
stay. Yeah. It's all crazy. It's all weird.
It is wild.
We got sucked in when we got coffee before we came and did this. I got sucked into watching like whatever. I didn't even know if it was a final or whatever, but it was the wrestling. Women's wrestling. It was a horrible match.
It was a horrible match.
It was not a good one.
I think that's why we were so sucked in though.
Yeah, I was like, oh, how quick are you going to lose?
I was waiting for the girls to be like, can we help you with anything? Because we were just standing there watching the TV. We had already gotten our coffee and we were just watching the TV.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. It's I love it. I love the Olympics. It makes me really want to like do a sport that in the next 4 years to qualify for the next Olympics. It's not going to happen.
You absolutely could if you really want to. Like, I'm not going to stop you.
But I actually think I would need to do the next Winter Olympics. I think I would do speed skating.
Yeah, go now.
I don't think so.
I think you're too little.
No,
I feel like the speed skaters are pretty big.
they don't have to be.
The long legs.
I don't think like what's his name? Apollo Ono? I don't think he was that big. Well, is that big?
Well, I don't know. If it's anything like the track and field, it's like the number one of 20 years ago was, or I guess 40 years ago, is now last place. So
Yeah. In the men's 100, it was like 7th place would have medaled at the last Olympics.
No, would have gotten first.
No, they didn't say first.
Yeah, because whoever won, I saw a thing today. It was whoever won. It was Carl.
Usain Bolt won.
No, it was Carl Weathers. No, not Carl Weathers. What's the guy? He won in like 88.
Yeah.
It was 9.91 seconds. That was 8th place.
Yeah.
This year, like 2 days ago. The 9.91 was last in the Olympics.
Yeah. Well, in the finals.
Well, in the 100, last in the Olympics is the final of the 100. So okay, thanks. And
last would have been like, I don't know how many.
Well, not in the semi. I'm talking about the finals.
Okay.
Regardless.
Yes.
The height of people then and all that stuff, it's different. So
it is.
I don't know. I don't know how important it would be. Anyway, I'm done. I don't have anything more to say. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not gonna do it, don't do it.
But plan. Write it down.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. We hope you have a good day and a good week.
Yes. Please.
We'll see you later.
Please subscribe. Please like.
All the things.
Leave a review, comment, something. Thanks. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.